Okay, prepare yourselves, because what I'm about to tell you is probably the most infuriating, mind-boggling, and ultimately, deeply satisfying story of my life. I mean, can you imagine someone just waltzing into your life, deciding for you what you need and don't need, and then taking your property? And not just any property, but something essential for my livelihood. My sister-in-law did just that. She literally looked me in the eye, said, "You don't need that," and then hitched my custom-built utility trailer to her truck and drove away with it. I stood there, dumbfounded, for about 2 whole minutes before I even processed what had happened. Was I wrong for the way I handled it? Because I eventually told her to look in the glove compartment, and let me tell you, what she found in there wasn't a pleasant surprise for her. Tell me honestly, would you have done the same thing, or perhaps even worse? It all started about 3 years ago, when I finally decided to turn my passion for woodworking and custom furniture into a full-time business. It was a leap of faith, to say the least. I'd been a hobbyist for years, spending countless hours in my garage, sanding, cutting, and assembling beautiful pieces for friends and family, often refusing payment because it was just something I loved to do. But bills, as they always do, started piling up, and my wife Sarah gently suggested that perhaps it was time to monetize my skills. She's always been my biggest supporter, my rock, and without her encouragement, I honestly don't think I would have ever taken the plunge. We sat down, crunched some numbers, and realized that to make this a legitimate venture, I needed a few key pieces of equipment. High on that list was a reliable way to transport large pieces of lumber, finished furniture, and all my tools to various job sites. That's where the trailer came in. It wasn't just any trailer, it was a custom-built, heavy-duty utility trailer, enclosed to protect my valuable tools and materials from the elements and potential theft. I'd spent months researching, saving every penny, and then another few weeks customizing it myself. I added custom shelving, secure tie-downs, even a small workbench inside for on-site adjustments. This trailer wasn't just a piece of equipment. It was an extension of my workshop, a symbol of my ambition, and the backbone of my nascent business. It proudly sat in my driveway, a testament to my dreams. Now let's talk about my sister-in-law, Brenda. Brenda is a force of nature, if that force were a Category 5 hurricane, constantly demanding attention and leaving a trail of chaos in its wake. She's Sarah's older sister, and for as long as I've known her, she's had this peculiar habit of believing that whatever she desires she deserves regardless of ownership, logic, or basic human decency. She's the kind of person who will see something she likes, instantly decide she needs it, and then proceed to take it or demand it, often under the guise of borrowing or it's for family. And if you dared to say no, you were suddenly the most selfish, unsupportive person on the planet. Sarah, bless her heart, had spent her entire life navigating Brenda's self-centered orbit, often giving in just to keep the peace. But over the years, even Sarah had started to draw lines in the sand, especially when Brenda's demands started impacting our life, and our resources. Brenda had recently decided to start her own craft business. I put craft business in air quotes because it mostly involved her buying cheap, mass-produced items, painting them poorly, and then trying to sell them at exorbitant prices online. It was less a business and more a hobby that she expected everyone else to fund and support. She had been complaining for weeks about not having a way to transport her inventory to various flea markets and craft fairs. She didn't have a truck, just a small SUV, and she certainly didn't have a trailer. Every time she brought it up, she'd gaze longingly at my trailer, parked innocently in my driveway, as if it were a shiny new toy waiting for her to play with. I ignored it, hoping she'd get the hint. I mean, who just asterisk takes asterisk someone else's property, right, wrong. One Tuesday morning, I was getting ready to head out to a job site. I had a custom dining table to deliver, and all my tools were meticulously packed in the trailer. I walked out, coffee in hand, to find Brenda already there, hooking up asterisk her asterisk SUV to asterisk my asterisk trailer. My jaw nearly hit the ground. She was humming a little tune, completely oblivious to the fact that I was standing there, staring at her in utter disbelief. "Brenda, what are you doing?" I managed to stammer out, my voice laced with a mixture of shock and anger. She finally looked up, a triumphant grin on her face, as if she'd just won the lottery. "Oh, hey. Good morning," she chirped. "I'm just taking your trailer. You don't need that today, do you? I have a craft fair across town, and I absolutely need it to transport my display and inventory. It's too much for my SUV. Besides, you're not going to use it for a few days, right? I saw you just working in your garage yesterday." My mind raced, trying to process the sheer audacity of her statement. "Brenda, I absolutely need it today. I have a delivery, and my tools are in there, everything. It's not just a trailer, it's my mobile workshop," I exclaimed, gesturing wildly. Her smile didn't waver. "Oh, come on, you're always so dramatic. You can just reschedule your delivery. It's just a table. People wait for furniture all the time. This craft fair is important for my business. You know. Supporting family and all that. You're supposed to be supportive." Before I could even formulate a coherent response, she climbed into her SUV, started the engine, and with a cheerful wave, pulled out of my driveway, my trailer in tow. I stood there, coffee growing cold in my hand, watching her drive away with a substantial part of my livelihood. I was speechless, fuming, utterly betrayed. Sarah came out a few minutes later, seeing my stunned expression. "What's wrong, honey? You look like you've seen a ghost." I slowly turned to her, pointing at the empty space where my trailer once was. Brenda just took my trailer. She said I didn't need it." Sarah's eyes widened in horror. She what asterisk? "Oh my God, I'm so sorry, love. I'll call her right now. This is absolutely unacceptable." But I stopped her. A slow, simmering anger was starting to replace the shock. "No," I said, a dangerous calm in my voice. "Don't call her, let her go." Sarah looked at me, confused. "What do you mean, let her go? She just stole your trailer." "I know," I replied, a plan slowly forming in my mind. "But I have an idea. Let's see how this plays out." For the next few hours, I was a coiled spring of frustration and strategic thinking. I had to scramble, borrow a friend's truck, and make an emergency delivery of the dining table, leaving all my specialized tools behind. It was a huge inconvenience and cost me valuable time and gas money. I called the client, profusely apologized, and explained that I had an unexpected equipment issue. I couldn't bring myself to say my crazy sister-in-law stole my trailer. It sounded too unbelievable. Sarah kept asking if I was sure about not calling Brenda, and I just kept telling her to trust me. I spent the rest of the day in my garage, working on smaller, less tool-intensive projects, but my mind was entirely focused on Brenda and my trailer. I was running scenarios, picturing her at the craft fair, blissfully unaware of the storm brewing. So that's the situation I was in, and I had to make a choice. Here I was, a small business owner, trying to make an honest living, and my own sister-in-law had, without asking, without permission, and against my explicit protest, taken a crucial piece of my business equipment. I was out a trailer, out a good portion of my tools, and out a significant amount of patience. Before I tell you what happened next, I want you to pause and comment below what you would have done in my shoes. Would you have called the police, demanded she return it immediately, or would you have, like me, decided to teach her a lesson she wouldn't soon forget? Brenda, true to form, didn't return my trailer that evening, or the next day, or the day after that. Sarah, growing increasingly anxious, had tried calling her, but Brenda conveniently missed all her calls, only sending a text saying, "Still using the trailer. So helpful. Will bring it back when I'm done with my very important business stuff." Lol. The lol was the final straw for me. That little lol just screamed a lack of respect, a complete disregard for my feelings and my business. It was pure, unadulterated entitlement. That's when I put my plan into action. The beauty of a custom-built trailer, as I mentioned, is that I knew every single bolt, every single wire, every single component of that thing. I had designed it to be highly secure, which included a very specific, somewhat obscure, anti-theft device. Most people wouldn't even know it was there. When I built the trailer, I installed a GPS tracker, not just any GPS tracker, but one that was integrated into the trailer's electrical system and completely hidden. It was for my peace of mind, a just-in-case measure against actual theft. I also, as a fun little project, installed a remote kill switch for the trailer's brakes and lights. It was an experimental feature, really, meant for emergencies or for when I parked it on a slope. I never thought I'd use it in such a personal way. Armed with the GPS coordinates from my phone, I knew exactly where my trailer was. It was, predictably, still at Brenda's house, parked awkwardly in her driveway, filled with her crafts. I waited until Friday afternoon. I knew Brenda had another craft fair scheduled for Saturday morning, a big one, about an hour's drive away. I wanted to make sure she was committed, invested, and utterly dependent on my trailer. I waited until Friday afternoon, well after she would have loaded everything up for the next day's event. Then, with a deep breath and a mischievous glint in my eye, I activated the remote kill switch. It was designed to disable all the trailer's electrical functions, the brake lights, the turn signals, and, crucially, the electronic brakes. I also, as a bonus, remotely locked the trailer's hitch to Brenda's SUV, using another custom feature I'd installed for maximum security. She could unhitch it, but she wouldn't be able to drive away without taking the hitch with her. She wouldn't be able to just hook it up to another car. My trailer was effectively bricked, an immovable, unlighted, non-braking hulk of metal and wood. The phone calls started coming in almost immediately, first from Brenda, then from Sarah, then from Brenda again, frantic, enraged. I let them go to voicemail. Finally, I picked up when Sarah called. She was worried, naturally. "Brenda is absolutely losing it. She says your trailer won't move, the lights are out, and she can't unhitch it. She's convinced it's broken. What did you do?" I calmly explained my little modification. Sarah was silent for a moment. Then I heard a faint chuckle on the other end. "Oh, you are evil," she said, but I could hear the amusement in her voice. "But she did take your trailer without asking." A few minutes later, Brenda called again, her voice a shrill shriek. "What the hell did you do to your trailer? It's completely broken. I can't move it, the lights are out, and I have to be at the craft fair tomorrow. You did this, didn't you? You sabotaged it." I let her rant for a good minute, picturing her red face, her hands probably gesticulating wildly. Then I cut in, my voice calm, almost overly polite. "Brenda, I'm so sorry to hear you're having trouble with my trailer. It's a custom build, you know, very high-tech, Not everyone knows how to operate it. She scoffed. Operate it? It's a trailer. You hook it up and drive. This is your fault. No, Brenda, I replied, a smirk playing on my lips. It's not my fault. It's your problem now. You took my trailer without permission, and you obviously don't know how to handle its unique features. Perhaps if you had asked, I could have given you a proper tutorial. She was sputtering, trying to form coherent sentences, but her rage was getting the better of her. I need it fixed now. I'm going to miss the craft fair. This is your fault. You always try to ruin everything for me. Look, Brenda, I said, cutting her off, my patience finally wearing thin. The trailer isn't broken, it's just disabled for security reasons, of course. After all, it's a very valuable piece of equipment for my business, and I can't have it just driving off with whoever decides they need it. It's a pretty unique security system, very clever, if I do say so myself, but there's a way to reactivate it. It's a failsafe, a manual override, if you will. There was a beat of silence on her end, a slight softening of her tone. She was desperate now. What is it? Tell me. I need this fixed. I took a deep breath, savoring the moment. Okay, Brenda, here's what you need to do. Go to the front of the trailer. Look at the hitch mechanism. You'll see a small, waterproof compartment. Inside that compartment, there's a key. Use that key to unlock the front access panel on the side of the trailer. Once that's open, you'll see a small glove compartment. And inside that glove compartment, you'll find what you need. She hung up without another word. I could almost hear the gears turning in her head, the realization slowly dawning on her that she was caught in her own trap. A few minutes later, my phone rang again. It was Brenda, but this time her voice wasn't shrill with anger, but with a defeated, almost pathetic whine. There's a note in here, she stammered. It says, "You don't need this trailer, Brenda. It's mine. Return it immediately, or I will report it stolen. And don't forget the parking tickets you've accumulated, since the lights weren't working. Those are yours too." I had, you see, anticipated her taking it. I had meticulously documented every detail of the trailer, including its unique VIN, and had already prepared a police report for theft. And yes, as a final flourish, I had used the GPS tracker to see that she had parked it illegally in several spots near the craft fair the previous day, incurring multiple parking tickets because the lights weren't working, which of course would fall squarely on her if I reported it stolen. The note also included a perfectly laminated copy of the trailer's registration, clearly stating my ownership, and a printout of the parking fines. "Well, Brenda," I said, my voice dripping with faux sympathy, "looks like you found my little instructions. It's all there, right? The key to reactivating the trailer, and the consequences of taking things that don't belong to you. Funny how that works, isn't it? I'll come pick up my trailer tomorrow morning, just as soon as you've emptied all your very important craft fair inventory out of it. And don't forget to leave the parking tickets with the note." Consider it a learning experience, she tried to argue, to plead, but I simply said, "Brenda, I'm busy. I have a business to run. A business that requires that trailer. I'll see you tomorrow." And I hung up. The next morning, Sarah and I drove to Brenda's house. My trailer was sitting in her driveway, completely empty. Brenda was nowhere to be seen, having apparently left early to try and salvage some shred of her craft fair plans, or perhaps to simply avoid me. On the driver's seat of her SUV, I found the note and a stack of parking tickets, totaling almost $300. I quietly unlocked the hitch, reversed my truck, hooked up my trailer, and drove away. Sarah just shook her head, a smile playing on her lips. "I told you he was evil," she murmured, nudging my arm, The best part, Brenda never mentioned the trailer again. She barely spoke to me for months, and when she did, it was with a newfound, albeit grudging, respect. She learned the hard way that some things are not to be taken, and some people are not to be messed with. So that's my story. It was a stressful, infuriating few days, but the satisfaction of seeing Brenda finally understand the consequences of her actions was immeasurable. Sometimes you just have to stand up for yourself even against family, and make it clear that your boundaries are not to be crossed. Like this video if you were on my side and think Brenda got exactly what she deserved. Subscribe for more stories like this where justice, even if a little devious, prevails. And share your final thoughts on this whole mess in the comments section. Would you have gone as far as I did, or would you have been more forgiving? I'll see you all in the next story.